Hello, welcome to part 30 of our Getting to EVE Online. So this is just about the rigging skills that we missed. The rigging skills, you could get them up to level 3. Level 3 is free to play. And then you could go through the ship tree, look at all the different ships, try to fit out the different ships, try to find some ships you might like. Hello, welcome. So we were just trying to fit our ships, right? We were trying to go to the ship tree, and then we could look at all these ships. We could fly all these ships, and we were trying to fit out all of these ships. So we've seen that this one has a bonus to light missile max velocity. So it means that you could shoot from further away. So we were trying to get this ship set up so it could shoot as far away as possible. So we got the ship here, and we were simulating fit. We got it mostly fit out, except for the rigs. Pretty much we could fly this ship for under 1 million, or we could add rigs to it. Because the maximum flight range, so like the maximum you could attack an enemy from is 44 kilometers, right? And if we go here, and if we add these rigs to it, this one increases attack range. Brings it to 50 kilometers. If we add this one, brings it to 56 kilometers. And each one of these that we put onto our ship, it makes our weapons require more CPU. So if we were to add a third one, we bring it to a negative 1.4 CPU. So we can't actually put these 3 rigs on it with this. We don't want to sacrifice these low slot modules for something to just increase the CPU or something, right? We want to leave them on there because they seem to be on there for a reason. But we could attack enemies from 61 kilometers away if we want. And we could target them from 68 kilometers away if we want. So the only problem is the rig, right? Because if we click here, it says increases maximum missile flight time at the expense of increased CPU requirements for launchers. So if we could figure out a way to reduce the drawback of it, right? Drawback 10%. So things cost 10% more power. Yep. So these launchers are all going to cost 10% more power. So if we can find a way to reduce this somehow, I think free-to-play can go up to level 3 in the rigging skills. Because we're just looking at the free-to-play skills here. So if we go to the rigging tree, intelligence and memory, right click on jury rigging, view market details. So this thing says it doesn't do anything itself, right? It doesn't do anything itself, but it unlocks the other skills. So this seems to be really cheap in Jeddah, the main trading hub, for some reason. So these ones you don't actually buy from other stations, from the regular ones at 75k, because it seems they're cheaper. It's like 2,000 in the station here. We'll take this price. So we're probably going to learn this right away, right? It's intelligence, memory. It'll take a little bit longer because we're perception and willpower. But we have all the frigates learned anyways. We have all the destroyers up to level 3. It's just the cruisers that we have to unlock. We could unlock those at some point. As long as we can fly out the frigates and destroyers, those are probably pretty cheap to fit out. So if we put jury rigging to level 3, it allows us to get the other abilities. So these are the ones that do something. If we look at launcher rigging, description, understand between missile launchers and their ships modifications, 10% reduction in launcher rig drawbacks per level. So if we were able to get this up a little bit, every level would reduce the CPU increase by 10%. So that'd be for like all 3 of the rigs that we want to put onto this ship. So we want to put 3 rigs that increase the CPU, and we don't have enough CPU. But I imagine if we just even get this up to like level 1 or 2, even just level 1 would do something. So imagine these are, pretty much buy these in the Jeddah main trading hub. Seems to be the best place to get it. See, first one is we want the launcher rigging one, because we're going to be working on this ship right now. We're going to get all of them eventually. But once you get jury rigging 3, you can maybe get launcher rigging 3. So I guess this comes before the cruisers. Before we master the cruisers, I guess. Cruisers takes like 13 hours or something. It takes like 12 hours, so it'll take like half a day to learn each one. Or we could just learn them out to level 2 for now, right? 11 hours times every single one of these. If we get them to level 2, that'll increase it by 20%. So to increase our chance of being able to actually use the rigs on all of our ships, right? Might as well just get this. So yeah, every single skill can go up to level 3. So we probably should have got these before remapping. That doesn't matter too much. as long as most of our training is perception, willpower. Well, it doesn't seem to be more expensive than usual. So we got energy weapon rigging, projectile weapon rigging. This pretty much means when we put a rig on any of our ships. So it's even if we put them on like a bigger ship, right? If we were to put these on literally any ship, it would help them be able to fit more other modules on it. So let's just see what we got here. We just want to collect all of these. And then we just need these 3. Why is it saying it's up? Because we have it sorted by price, right? 70,000. Yeah, we do. This one's like the most expensive. So considering we got the other ones cheaper, we're not going to run to another station to get it. Perfect. So now we have all of the rigging skills learned. So if we just get jury rigging up to level 3, 7, 8, 9, that'll level up overnight. And then tomorrow we could just spend like 2.5 hours getting everything to level 2. And then maybe eventually we get them to level 3. So maybe we'll just start with like the weapons. We'll do the launcher rigging, and then we'll do the projectile weapons rigging. And then the hybrid turret rigging. Yeah, hybrid weapon rigging. There it is. Perfect. Now let's just get all of these to level 2. So maybe this is something to do after we know how to fly destroyers and everything. Because we're going to be going through the ship tree. We're trying to fit out all the ships. So we're going to level those to level 2. But we're just going through the ship tree. So we're starting with Caldari. Because that's the race that we started as. So if we go here, we could look at all the different ships that we have. Then we go to Jeddah, the main trading hub, right? Especially like this one, we couldn't buy it in perimeter anyways. Pretty much just fly to Jeddah, the main trading hub. Just board a Corvette and fly over here, right? Board a Corvette, fly to Jeddah, and then just buy a ship. And then once you have bought a ship, then you could search modules for it. So you could practice fitting out all the other smaller ships until we actually fit them out. We just have to wait till tomorrow. Well, we could use these skill points. That would speed it up. Intelligence and memory. It is ideal to use these skill points in intelligence and memory skills. Perfect. We have to do our skilling spree today, right? It's a little one. It's only 2.5k skill points. That's it. Perfect. So we get those up. So maybe something you could do, since the battleship isn't that good, there's battle cruisers we could make. Those are like 80 million to make. But maybe just go through all of these small ships, right? So if we exit simulation, perfect. Here's what we have so far. We got like light missile launchers. You just click on this wrench, go to which spot you're looking for, and then just try to look at the different things you could get. This one could use light missile launchers. So we got one with light missile launchers, and then we also got rocket launchers. So we could fit out 2 of these, right? Show information. 5% bonus to light missile and rocket damage, 10% bonus to light missile and rocket max velocity. So we could set up one of these ships with light missiles, and then maybe set up one of these ships with rockets, and then try both of these ships. Just go through and try the different ships out, try to fit them out. It says this one has increased max velocity, so that means it could attack things from farther away, right? So that's why we're trying to simulate a fit that increases its attack range as much as possible. And just go through the modules here. You could simulate a fit to see what it would do if all your modules are activated, so that helps. So we did have a target painter on here, but we put a shield extender on. Maybe we could have a target painter, right? This is why we sit here and do this. Unfit the shield module. We had a target painter. So this would increase our damage against ships. So be able to hit them easier and do more damage to these ships. If it turns out we don't need shields or anything, we got like the 1MN afterburner. So the difference between that is you can't go as fast as with this, except that your cap is stable. So this thing lets you go faster, right? 2.2k, but you have to disable it. And if you where's the afterburner? Afterburner is gone. But if you have the afterburner, then you could just enable all of these. So all of these modules can be on for the entire fight. You can turn them on, never have to disable them. You also have like a range enhancer script, missile range script. Yeah, these things you could show information about them, right? Used with so the attributes would increase your attack range or your attack damage against ships. And you could use it with a charge that would either boost the attack damage of it or boost the attack range of it. So it says using more than one type of this module, similar modules that affect the same attribute will be penalized. So something you could do is you could equip 2 of them, right? We have 2 missile guidance computer. They're going to be penalized. But if we have like a range script and a damage script, then they actually won't be penalized. We figured that out. So we just go here. And then it's like we have 2 of those on, but because they affect different modules, there's no penalty to them. So one increases the missile attack range, one increases missile damage. And it seems because these are on the low slots, it doesn't seem to get the penalty from it. So this increases attack range, and this increases damage. I think this increases damage in a way too, right? Explosion radius, explosion velocity, yes, that does increase damage as well. So if you put 2 ballistics, it would be penalized. Might as well just get this to increase your range damage. So we're up to 38 kilometers with this, and then if we had this, we'd be 44 kilometers. And then we'll end the video here pretty soon. But if we were just to throw like these on, so you could show information to see what all the rigs do, right? What does it do to the ship? So we're just looking for missiles just to make a ship that can do a lot of damage. So it said this increased missile attack range, right? So we threw that on 50 kilometers. This increased missile attack range. So it said 56 kilometers. It said this increased missile attack range again. So this was 61 kilometers. Why is it saying negative 9.4? Oh. Maybe we had the target painter on. Not sure why it's changed like that. Not sure why it's changed like that. Maybe we had something different in that slot over there. Maybe that makes sense. What did we have in that spot? Oh, we had a sensor booster, right? Targeting range is 55 kilometers. That's what we had. We had a sensor booster. Sensor booster's gone. Oh, there it is. We found it.
Skill training completed.
So we figured it out. We had a sensor booster to increase the targeting range. So this can be fitted with modules too, right? But considering we don't need any more targeting range than this, we might as well keep the bonuses of it. Because this thing, the modules, right, the attributes would be maximum targeting range, maximum targeting speed, and maximum targets. Sensor strength bonus. So this stops you from being sensor jammed. So if somebody jams you and they don't want you to target them, this should counter it a little bit. So the charges would be like ECM. So is a negative 100%, so it completely nullifies the other boosts to it to increase one boost to it. Scan resolutions, this would make you lock on faster, but you wouldn't get the increased range. And this is the one that we didn't put this one in. This would increase the targeting range bonus of it by 100%, but you wouldn't get the other two bonuses of it. So you could just play around with the modules, try to fit out some frigates and destroyers for now, and then we'll get cruisers once we figure it out. We just have to learn these rigging level 2 skills so that we could put this rig on, and so that there's enough CPU to pilot the ship. So this video is pretty much just talking about the rig skills and going through the ship tree. And then check out all the other small ships and try to make some fits until we make a bunch of fits. Hello, welcome. So this is just a little end. We're pretty much halfway done rendering it, and then we're like, we should actually add something. So don't feel like you have to add rigs to every ship, right? This ship, it's worth like 766,000. But if we start adding rigs, it'll usually like double the value of it, right? If we just wanted to add these ones, we could pretty much see the estimated price at the left, but that's not always accurate. This one says it's like 300k, but if you wanted to buy it, it would be like 400k. So if we were getting some expensive modules, just like 2 of these things would double the cost of the ship. So rigs, they can add up, right? Ship was worth like 750k, now it's worth like 8.6. Yeah, I guess that pretty much doubled the value of the ship. So you don't have to rig out every single ship. You could unrig these ships, and then you could afford to lose 2 ships like this. Especially if you're doing like stupid stuff, you just want to go try doing things, trying to see what can this handle if you don't want to spend too much money. But then at that point, maybe it would make sense to just double the price if it's only 1.3 million. And so we've seen that sometimes the rigs, especially the cruisers and everything, right? If you're just sitting here rigging out every cruiser, every battle cruiser, pretty much the Drake, if we look here, right? Rigs, maybe they start getting really expensive. But then considering the price of the thing, maybe it doesn't make sense to not use rigs. I start using those out at like another 1.2, another 3 million, 4 or 5. So maybe it would add like 5 million. I guess that's like not even a percentage of the haul. Maybe that's not the factor then. Maybe rigs is alright. It's just the T2 rigs. Any T2 rigs and any T2-1 modules, don't even bother with them. You want to keep your fit cheap, right? Because we can, even if we could use these, right? If we were to go 1 MN afterburner view market details, it's worth 12,000. But if we go to variations and look at the Tech 2 one, so we can't use it yet. We could learn to use it in 1 day if we really wanted to. But this one costs, what, 2 million? So considering just the Tech 2 module costs like 2 million compared to 12,000. You just want to stay with Tech 1 modules. Same with this small shield, right? Small shield, these ships are so cheap. Small shield costs like 20,000 to get the small shield. And we do have the requirements to use it, right? Variations, small shield extender 2. It would make the ship better. It would make the ship quite a bit better. But considering the market details, a price difference of 545,000. So that's like almost the price of the ship and all the other modules combined. Same with this thing. Same with the same with the weapon launchers and everything. Pretty sure we do have the requirements to use this one, maybe. This one is what? Around like 42,000. If we go to the tier 2 one, it's like over 1 million. So just the one module is worth more than one ship. So I guess the continuation, we'll end it here, right? Stick to tier 1 modules. You don't need tier 2 modules. Tier 1 should be just fine. Especially when you go to the rigs, right? These are maybe like 200,000 each to put on the ship. These ones are like 2 million each to put onto the ship. So you don't want to get a little ship that's worth like 750,000 and then just fit it out with rigs and modules that's worth like 10, 15 million. So you don't want to bring the cost of your ship up to 15 million for no reason. Tier 2 modules are probably just for Tier 2 ships. Tier 2 modules are probably just for Tier 2 ships. Except for the bigger ships, especially for the frigates. So there we go. We'll end the video. We did a whole bunch about jury rigging. So we did the rigging skills. We looked at those. We need to get these to level 2 so we could fit our rigs better onto our ships. And fitting rigs and everything seems fine, actually. It's just the Tier 2 versions of everything. Just stick to Tier 1 versions of everything. And then just go through these ships and check out these ships. Fit out your ships. Try to find some ships that look like the ships that you want to fly, right? Because the main thing, they could all do something, but it just depends what does the ship look like. So you want to fly some ships that you want to fly. Like the Tristan, this one looks pretty cool, right? This thing. We might want to fly this frigate just because it looks pretty cool. And we can fly it. We do have the skills to fly it. Oh, it doesn't actually load up the image. We have to actually obtain the ship before we could see what it looks like. Yeah, it's just a phantom image of it. But yeah, and then eventually you could go through and then fit out all of the destroyer ships. So just start with the frigates, right? You check the Minotaur frigate. Usually the Rifter is pretty popular. Usually this thing's pretty popular. The Rifter ship. It is a pretty sweet ship, right? It's definitely one of the best frigates to get. So you could try to fit this frigate out and then see what it does. And then fit out every single one. And then fit out all the destroyers. And then work your way up to the cruisers. And then just fit out all of the battle cruisers. And then just try them out. See what they do. See what you find for ships that you find. And then later, once you have all of our ships fit out, we'll just make videos about ships and their fit. And what can you maybe do with them. Maybe you'll find something to do with all these ships before we do too.